What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Milkman, and today we're going to be talking about DJing. If you ever watched a DJ and thought that looks hard as hell, or I don't know where to begin, this is the video for you. I'm going to be breaking down what DJing is, what DJs actually do, what equipment is necessary to be able to DJ, how mixing works, and how to make your transition sound clean and exciting. No gatekeeping, no overcomplicated explanations, just the basics so you can actually get started today. So let's start with number one. What does it mean to DJ? According to Google, a DJ is a person who selects, plays, and mixes recorded music for an audience with the goal of creating a seamless flow of music and an engaging atmosphere. That's cool and all, but that's a lie. Even just reading it off of here, that's a lot. But I heard an explanation from another YouTuber named Thazi that was way simpler. And that definition goes a little something like this. A DJ is somebody who mixes songs together to make them sound like one continuous track. That's it. Everything else, scratching, effects, tricks, stems, it's all just extra sauce on top. At its core, DJing is about flow. If it feels like the music you played never stopped, then more than likely you did your job correctly. Now let's get on to step two. How do you DJ? The great thing about DJing is there's a million ways to do it, but there are a few simple rules that every DJ typically tends to follow. Number one, pick good songs. If you have bad song selection, no amount of DJ tricks is gonna save you from that. Number two, try to match keys when you're picking songs. This is gonna keep your mix sounding musical instead of messy. Number three, try to match tempos when you're selecting songs. You don't wanna pick a song that's a different BPM and then you get a BPM jump in your mix because it'll throw off the vibe. Trust me, I know. Number four, never play a song for too long unless it's a banger like No Hands. Then you can play the whole thing through. Number five, you gotta be able to read your crowd. The DJ who can read the best is typically gonna be able to win. How you apply these rules that I just mentioned all depends on what type of DJ you are. You may be asking, how many types of DJs are there? Well, I'm glad you asked, random person on YouTube, because I'm about to explain it to you. So there are club DJs and lounge DJs, skating rink DJs, social media DJs like TikTok and YouTube and what's the other platform? Twitch. You got battle DJs who are stupid with the effects and the scratching, bedroom DJs, people who are just kind of starting out, people who are probably watching this video trying to figure out some tips and tricks. Also got people who are mobile DJs who do like weddings and events where they set up equipment and they have to basically bring the whole show to whatever venue that they travel to. Once you figure out where you want to DJ, then you can figure out what you need. And that brings us to the third point on the list, which is what materials do you need to DJ? First things first is usually going to be a computer. Most DJs typically start with the laptop and then they download some DJ software. Doesn't really matter which DJ software, this is just usually the step that they take first. Unless you're just big ballin' and you want to get a standalone unit that requires no laptop. Completely up to you. Just make sure two things. Your laptop can run the latest version of whatever DJ software that you're using and is compatible with whatever drivers that you need for your board. These are critical because if they are not compatible or you can't run your DJ software, then you're never going to be able to get the most out of it. Next up, you want to be looking for a DJ controller or a DJ board, as we call it in the spinning world. This is honestly going to be one of your harder decisions because there are just so many options out there now. But my suggestion is, if you're going to be a mobile DJ, you should probably get something that you can travel with easily. I personally use a DDJ Rev 1 and I pair that with a mixer to be able to perform at live shows. But whatever you decide to use, just make sure it accommodates your needs. Most entry boards typically come with a few things: EQ knobs, tempo faders, cue buttons, a sync button, load in button, effects, etc, etc, etc. If you want to know more about all the buttons that DJ boards have, I recommend that you pick one that you like, analyze it, look up a YouTube video on how to set it up. There are so many out there. And next up, what you're going to need is a good pair of headphones. I myself have some of these nice Audio Technicas. Unless you're a festival DJ with like some massive reference speakers, you're probably going to be using headphones to load up cue points in your next song that you're about to play in your mix. And that's pretty much it on what you'll typically need to get started DJing. But there are a few optional things that you can add on to your setup, just depending on, like I said, what type of DJ you are. Those things include a laptop stand, a mixer, speakers and subwoofers, a whole lot of wires, maybe even some lights to make your show look even better. Just up to your discretion. Basically, your setup grows with your goals. And that brings us to the fourth point on the list, which is, how do I work my software? Once your board is plugged in and your software is up and running, typically it's a pretty easy process, because if you don't have your drivers already installed, it's gonna make you do it now. So you'll go ahead and get everything downloaded and then refresh your software, and then boom, now we can actually get started. I'm not sure what software you're using, but for references of this video, we're going to be using Serato because that's what I use. Serato DJ Pro. Typically what you'll see in Serato DJ Pro is your music library is going to be on the bottom half of the screen. Decks 1 and 2 are going to be at the top, featured left and right. You'll see things like cue points, effects, stems, and a record button. I won't go too deep because different softwares vary, but here's one pro tip that I wish I knew when I first got Serato. You're actually able to map your stems to your sample pad. What you're going to want to do is go to the gear icon and scroll down until you see the button that says replace samples with stems, I believe it is. You're going to want to click that button. That one setting alone basically opens up a whole new world of mixing opportunities for you. This is why you want to make sure that everything that you purchase from your board to your computer is as up to date as possible, so that you can have access to some of these extra features like the stems that Serato offers. And that brings us to the fifth point on our list, which is, how do I mix? Well, here's the basic process. First, load in 2 songs, 1 for each deck. Another pro tip coming your way. Whenever you download a new song and upload it into Serato, go ahead and get your cue point set for that song. Just go through it beforehand, like right then. As soon as you load it in for the first time, barring that you're at a show, you don't want to just be downloading songs at shows and doing it on the fly. You want to do it beforehand so you can get your mixes together. That way, whenever you load it in the next time, you can go straight to whichever part of the song that you want to start with. Or let's say you want to skip to a certain part of a song in your mix because the vocals come in there, or you like that part of the melody. Now that you've got 2 songs loaded into each deck, 1 for each, you're going to want to turn up the volume fader for whichever song you want to start off in your mix. Then you're going to want to hit play on whichever deck you just turned the volume up on. Next, you want to go ahead and adjust your trim levels so that you can make sure that you are able to achieve a balanced mix. And while that song is playing, you want to go ahead and make sure that you have your headphones on as well, and you can listen in by clicking the cue headphones button on the deck for the next song that you're going to be queuing up. And then you're going to want to bring in, or begin to bring in, the next song. As you do so, you need to make sure you EQ both decks so that you get a good blend. You want to take this process very slow so you can continue to hear how the highs, lows, and mids are clashing from each deck, so that you can balance them out before you mix in the next song. Once you have a good blend and you've gotten to a good cue point in the second song, you want to go ahead and fade out the first, slowly but surely. Continue this process until the first song is all the way faded out, and congratulations, you just mixed 2 songs together. Let's fucking go, baby. Now I know that doesn't sound too amazing, and most people will be like, oh my gosh, Milkman, what did we just do? That doesn't sound like what my favorite DJ does. Don't worry, I got you. That brings us to step number 6. That's how to spice up your mixing. Now, this is actually going to be the fun part. How spicy do you want it? Fire or Diablo? My advice would be start with some effects. Things like low pass filters, high pass filters, reverb, flangers, chorus, LFOs, etc., etc. The key to the spiciness of these effects is to make sure that you use them in moderation. You don't want to slam your fader with a bunch of reverb. If both songs that I'm playing are bangers, then I'm going to carve out space for one with a high pass filter, or I'll low pass the current playing track so that I can let the chorus from the next track shine. Sometimes I might echo an intro of some words so that I can make it be felt by my audience, and cut the echo out right as the beat drops. You can combine loops and effects. It's really all up to you and your creativity. Now, let's talk about stems. Stems are like that one girlfriend that puts cayenne pepper on everything. Tacos, spaghetti, chocolate. Your face when you keep getting smart with her. They just turn everything up. Stems let you bring one vocal from one song into another, swap drums and melodies, and basically create a whole new song live. You mix that with things like the EQs and the effects and some of your creativity, your shows are going to be absolute bangers. But there's one key element that we're missing that's really going to be able to take you to the next level as a DJ, and that's practicing. You got to practice your mixing. You gotta practice your mic work. You gotta practice your transitions. Practice until you know you can do a 3-hour set in front of the crowd that you're imagining, and then keep practicing. Listen, at the end of the day, DJing is not hard. It just takes time. Figure out what type of DJ you want to be. Learn the skills required for that lane. Practice them until they're second nature. And when it's time for you to DJ, I promise you're going to be ready. And you're going to kill it. But guys, I don't want to make this video last too long, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up from here. If you found any of this information useful, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future uploads from your boy Milkman on how to DJ in 2026. And if you like some of the facts that you got from this video, drop down and hit that thumbs up button and comment what you want to see from Milkman moving forward on this channel. Any DJ tips, live shows, I got you. Once again, this has been your boy Milkman. I hope everybody has a blessed day. Peace.